real-time applications of hashing in data structure. So before we discuss the application, let us have a quick recap of what hashing is all about. So you would have studied what is hashing already, right? So what is hashing? So it is a technique used for storing and retrieving the data. Mainly it is used for storing and retrieving the data. We have several, without hashing also we have several other techniques for storing and retrieving the data. But why hashing specifically used is like these operations can be performed in minimal amount of time. Clear? So if I want to store a data with the help of hashing technique, we use a function called as a hash function. So this function computes a value called as hash value. So based on this hash value, the data that I want to store will be inserted into a table called as hash table. So if we take a table, what do we have in table? Let us take index page as example. What do we have? So the index page is the perfect example for a table, right? So in the table we have serial number and content. So here inside the content we will store the actual data, and the serial number will refer to the page number, right? So similarly in hash table we will store the data based on the hash value. So that hash value will, the data will be mapped to the hash value. This hash value acts as the index. So for example, let us assume two data is mapping to the same index. But I want to store two data in the same index 3. Can I store two data inside the same index? No. I cannot. So that condition is called as collision. So we have several techniques to resolve this collision. So we will study the collision resolution technique like separate chaining and open endless. So these techniques are used for resolving collision if two data maps to the same. So now we will discuss what are the real applications of hashing in data structure.
So from this, I came to know that if you take a library and if a librarian is working there and if he keeps the books in the rack, if I go and if I ask for a book, he need not go search for a book line by line, which means rack by rack. Instead, he will have a catalog there. So while seeing if I get my name, if it is engineering mechanics, he will see where does the book stored, and he will see the rack and row number. He will take it. So while doing this, we don't want to take more time. It will complete in less time.
So as Kirtana have mentioned, when we are going for library, if I want to find a particular book, we will not go to individual rack to search. Instead, we have a library management system software. We will merely enter the book ID or book name. So it will display the rack shelf rack number as well as the shelf number in which the book is stored. So here hashing technique is applied. So you tell some other application of
one of the real applications of the hashing is password. Nowadays the passwords are not secure, but the hash, using the hashing, we can set the password securely. Through the hash, the password can be set. If we give the alphabets with any order of the password, if we give the, for example, we give the dog, so it has 3 letters. So it was checked by the hash map. So which was it's checked the hashing map. That was we already defined the hash functions, hash values defaultly. Through this hash function, it checks and stores index of the table of the hashing. It checks if the password is set ஒரு டைம் நம்ம செட் பண்ணிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் நம்ம திருப்பியும் நம்ம வந்து செட் பண்ணும்போது, அதாவது செட் பண்ணுறதில் திருப்பியும் பாஸ்வேர்டு அப்ளை பண்ணும்போது அந்த ஹேஷிங் டேபிளில், அதாவது அந்த பாஸ்வேர்டு எந்த இண்டெக்ஸில் ஸ்டோராக இருக்குது அப்படின்ட்டு நம்ம ஹேஷிங் மேப் வந்து மேப் பண்ணும். அதாவது இது மூலிமா அப்படின்னா ஹேஷ் ஃபங்க்ஷன் மூலிமா ஆல்ரெடி நம்ம வந்து டிஃபால்ட்டாக வந்து ஆல்ரெடி மென்ஷன் ஃபங்க்ஷன் மென்ஷன் இஃப் த if the hash value is same for both, if we give next time, if we give the hash value of the same, then it will map that it is stored in this index, respected index. So this is the one of the real time example of the hash.
So I have another example. e-commerce app that is Flipkart. If you go to search for Bluetooth headphones, so if we randomly search, we need to go line by line. Like instead of you search Bluetooth headphones, so the Bluetooth headphone is a name. Then it is stored in a value called something. If they kept the product ID as 5, so it will straightly go to the product ID 5 and it shows the Bluetooth ID. Bluetooth's there. So instead of checking going one by one, it saves the time. So this is also.
I have one point. So in hashing. So why we use the hash for all the applications? Because it's very secure and it is a time complexity of a big O of 1. So it is a main key. We take as a main key applications.
So when we talk about time complexity, let us take browser history as an example. So why do we maintain bookmarks? Let us talk about bookmarks. Why do we have bookmarks?
So we need to next time I need to see it.
If I want to find a journal in an IEEE transaction. So when I specify the journal name, if I want to search the journal, I go to the IEEE website. I go to the respective issue.
Log in again.
You have to log in. You have to go to the respective issue, and you have to go to the respective volume. Then only you have to search for the paper.
Yeah.
So here I have to switch. I have to toggle between 4 different tabs.
Yes.
Instead of that, if I maintain a bookmark for that particular article, when I click on that bookmark, it will be automatically directed to the journal page.
Yes.
Instead of logging in and instead of going to IEEE transaction page, I will be directly directed to the article page. So this is where hashing is applied.
Yes.
So in case of hashing, if hashing is applied for faster access or easy retrieval. So here, instead of clicking the tab 4 different times, I'm going to click the tab only one time. So here search is done in order of one time. So this is another application of hashing. So when Shakti was telling about password, you would have heard of another technique called as encryption.
Yes.
What is encryption?
So the message will be, if we send our own message and nobody can access it, it will be.
No, it is not about nobody can access it. Nobody can read it.
Because it will be going another.
By default, if a guy want to propose to someone, instead of telling I love you, what does he say?
Yes.
143.
143.
So this
It's a
143 it is a code for the
Code.
message I love you.
Yes.
So this is encryption, converting the text into some unreadable form.
Yes.
If I am sending the message as 143 and anyone will merely read it as 143, he cannot decode the message behind that code 143.
Yes.
So this is encryption. Hashing also converts the text into some other form,
Yes.
hash value, but these two are not same. Encryption will merely convert the text into some unreadable form, but hashing will convert the text and it stores or maps to an index.
Sure.
So encryption is different and hashing is different. Understood?
Yes.